So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show in the world. You know what these Muppet Boiler Room secondary great watch market dealers won't dare to teach you. Won't dare to teach you. Me and Joaquin to you, Kino to me, we will dare to teach you, ladies and gentlemen. And today, Sweet Kid Kino has prepared a very nice watch market update for you unbelievable watch collectors out there. Unbelievable. But we do. We have a nice watch market update. Ladies and gentlemen, I have told you for a long time that I have many ADs throughout the Caribbean. I'm very, very, Scout's honor, I'm very, very well known in the Caribbean. I purchased most of my Rolex watches at the Caribbean ADs. Unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to share something with you people out there so you understand what's happening with the backdoor sales. The back door, la puerta de atrás, the back door in the back. They go through the back and they give them the timepiece back there and they grease them up. They grease them up. You understand what I mean? Grease them up. And I'm going to show you something. They even Sweet Kid Kino say that's unbelievable. I don't know how you do it, cuz. Kino really calls me cuz. I'm letting you inside a family, things the way we speak to each other. And I'm going to show you something so you can see what this is all about because this is unbelievable. This is really unbelievable. The watches that I'm getting offered. And I'm going to tell you that you should go over there yourself and go take a look at them. If you are in the Caribbean, you tell them that I send you. My full name is Juan Felipe Nieves. Because, the Muppet Boiler Room secondary great watch market dealers don't want these watches because they know that the watch market is dead in a backyard pool and floating face down. But I'm going to show you the watches that I'm being offered, and I'm denying them. So here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Let me not take more of your time. This one here, I think this is a Rolex Datejust, brand new, from the AD, authorized dealer. They're offering me that watch, unbelievable watch. They're offering me this. I think this is a Wimbledon, a Wimbledon watch. If you're interested in a Wimbledon, I have this one for you. It's in the Caribbean. You can go pick it up. I don't want it. Maybe you want it. I'm getting offered this. I think this is a green dial, a beautiful green dial for you too. If you want it, you can pick it up in the Caribbean. Go to St. Martin. How's that? Look at that. Go to St. Martin and pick it up. It's there for you. I don't want it. Look at this, an Explorer. Maybe you want an Explorer. We have an Explorer for you guys too. Ladies and gentlemen, get it through your head. The watch market is dead. Don't believe these flammers no longer. The watch market is dead. There's watches all over the place. The Caribbean is flooded. The Caribbean is flooded with watches. Unbelievable but true, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, as you can see it. Look at this. Huh? You want that one? We got that one for you too. You don't need to grease them up or nothing. You don't need to grease them up. They can't even give these away no more because these watches are dogs with fleas. Not dogs, dogs with fleas. The two-tone I'm talking about, the two-tone. Okay? Here goes more for you guys. Look at this one here, guys. Huh? This watch was at $35,000 at one moment. 35,000 maracas, papa. $35,000. Tell me, what other watch market dealer channel does what I do? Tell me. Tell me which is the channel that you look at that does what I do, showing you all this. Go to St. Martin. They're there. They're loaded up with watches for you guys, Loaded up. I think this is a Bruce Wayne, two-tone, yellow gold with stainless steel with a black and gray ceramic bezel, black dial. Unbelievable. Here it is for you guys, if you want it. Let's see what else we got here. Look at this one. Maybe you want that one. You know what that is? Read it. Read it and weep. Read it and weep. Maybe you want that one. No, not that one. Okay. How about that one? No, you don't want it either. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a shitload of watches all over the place. Look at this one. My God, I used to have that watch. Look at this one. You know it, Papa. You know this is the only one that does this. The only one. The only one. How about that one? Look at this one. I think this is the green one, right? Yeah, the green dial. This watch is unbelievable. You can buy it from the Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market for $32,000 without no hesitation. You can buy it. Look what they're asking for this one, 40-something thousand. Unbelievable. The watch market is dead. How about this one? Maybe you want that one. Maybe you want that one right there. I don't know. This is the only channel that does this, ladies and gentlemen. No channel is ever going to do this. And what do we get? The short end of the stick. But don't worry about it. We like to do this because we're stupid just like that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And look at this one. How about that one? You want that one? They have that one too for you. You don't want it, right? You know why you guys don't want it no more? Because it's not worth $65,000 no more. That's why you guys don't want it no more. Son así, son lambones. Son lambones. ¿Qué te puedo decir? Son lambones. Unbelievable. You see what else we have? One more. Wow, look at this. They're dumping everything because they know that a stampede of brand new watches is coming next Monday. You know, next Monday is coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable, but true. How about that one? How about a Sky Dweller? You can buy that one for $31,000 in the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market. You don't have to spend, I don't know how much. How much does this one cost? Somebody told me how much that one costs. Nobody knows, right? Okay. I can't see it. That's what I'm asking you. But you can buy it for $32,000, $29,000, $30,000, depending on the desperate Muppet Boiler Room dealer. You know the way he feels. He'll give it away. He needs the money. Unbelievable. How about that one? No? These are all the watches that I'm being offered, ladies and gentlemen. These are all the watches from St. Martin. Go to St. Martin. They have them all there for you. How about that one, huh? The blue, the ombre dial, white gold. Nobody wants it no more. You guys are embarrassed. You guys don't even want to look at this no more because I keep on showing you. I keep on showing you. Happy New Year. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe all the watches that I'm being offered? Listen, guys, if you want those watches, they're beautiful watches. If you want them, I pass them on. I don't want them. But you can go to St. Martin and they have them there. You just tell them that Mr. Nieves send you and they have the watches there, okay? Nobody's going to do what I do, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's ever going to do what I do because I'm stupid like that. And I like to be stupid like that, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm not ashamed to say that I'm stupid, you know? But it is what it is. I did it because, I did this because, you guys need help. I've been telling you people out there that everybody copies our catchphrases, and we're flattered. And we're happy that people copy us, Sweet Kid Kino's the brains behind this channel. Kino Increíble. And I'm the voice. I'm the voice. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. I told you guys a story a couple of months ago. I told you the story of the frog. I said it wrong. I told you the story of the turtle and the scorpion. I told you the story of the turtle and the scorpion. And that's a very powerful story, But like I told you, we have a lot of Muppet Boiler Room channels that spook on this channel. They come to learn, They come to learn from the brains of this channel, Sweet Kid Kino. That's Sweet Kid Kino. It's a smart man. Smart man. You know, he's very shy. You know, people, I have subscribers in this channel that understand that Joaquin to you, Kino to me is a very shy man. But Kino has shown me so many things, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to let you listen to something to see if somebody is trying to, you know, impersonate, you know, impersonate. That's what it is. ¿Cómo se llama la palabra, Kino? Cuando alguien se quiere ser, you want to be Michael Jackson. You dance like Michael Jackson. Unbelievable, Michael Jackson, you know? The impersonator, right? The impersonator. Well, people want to impersonate us, and you're not going to believe this. You got to hear this, ladies and gentlemen. You got to hear this. Tell me what this sounds like. Tell me if you ever heard this story. You understand that? You understand that? He changed the turtle. He changed the turtle into a frog, you know? But it's what I say, you know, people want to keep on, you know, and you know, they're trying to be like us, you know, and it's unbelievable that we have all these people you know, trying to copy us and be like us, and we don't care because, you know, good publicity or bad publicity is good publicity, and it's unbelievable the people that want to be like Sweet Kid Kino. It's unbelievable. Sweet Kid Kino cut his hair and he did like a tape. Oh, Mario, o sea, digo, te vacilando, pa. Kino gets a little bit, you know, nervous when I talk to him about that, you know, unbelievable. But ladies and gentlemen, we have an interesting watch market update. I hope you appreciate all the watches that I showed you that they have in St. Martin. You know, all the Rolex. I know that now none of you want none of those Rolex because, you know, I don't want them. And they don't cost no more $65,000. But I'm telling you that the watch market is dead in a backyard pool and floating face down like this. It dead. It's dead, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what they told you, no matter what Deputy Boxing Black Eyes Sidekick Jiminy Cricket, the Chia Pet Spray kind of hair tells you, the watch market is dead, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Anyway, guys, I'm going to go into the watch market update because this is what you guys pay for. You pay for a watch market update, and I'm going to give it to you. Unbelievable. Our first watch is a Vacheron Constantine overseas. You know, unbelievable, that Vacheron Constantine. You know, it's beautiful rose gold. You know, beautiful rose gold with the most beautiful blue dial in the watch business. 41 millimeter. You know, the new reference number, the new one, not the old one, the new one, the 5520. Unbelievable. You know, 5520V/120R. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch has a retail price of $79,500. Unbelievable. $79,500. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to be careful out there. You know, when you're looking at these watches, as you know, Vacheron Constantine cannot hold on, you know, to their, you know, those hype numbers. They can't. They just keep on falling and falling and falling. And people have purchased these watches brand new, and they have paid that top number of $79,500 plus your taxes, and they're getting the logo. They're getting the logo. Okay? They're getting the logo. Don't forget that. If you know what the logo is, put it up there so I know that you follow me. You know? If you know what that is, you put it up there, and I know that you really are involved in this channel. But ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, this watch did not move from $79,000. It didn't move up, you know? It didn't go all the way up. It didn't go all the way up. It went down. It went down. That's right. You know it, Flip. You know it. You're one of mine. That's right. The truth is here. And ladies and gentlemen, instead of going up, it went down. And this is the new reference number. The 5520 rose gold blue dial chronograph. Chronograph. Don't get scared, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. It's just dropping. That's right. You know it, Damon. You know it. You know it. It's just dropping. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and be careful with Vacheron Constantine overseas watch models. It's dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that BC overseas chrono, rose gold, blue dial, 5520. Don't pay more than $62,000 and nothing. $62,000 and nothing. Just in case you didn't hear it well, you know. Be careful with your children's tuition money. I know what I'm telling you. You know, $62,000 for that, and probably has, you know, 200 grams of gold. You know, so be careful. I know what I'm telling you. Be careful. Our next watch is the Richard Mille. To you Richard Mille fanatics, you know, Richard Mille, the RM011TI. FM, Philippe Massa, Italia, you know, they made 1 of 10 of these watches, 10 pieces they made. Listen to this so you understand. You might be thinking, why is he talking about Richard Mille? And why is he talking about a Richard Mille that has 10 pieces, limited edition to, you know, 1 of 10 pieces? I'm going to explain to you why. Imagine, and you want to hear something else? Discontinue. You know, discontinue, you know, collector's grade, collector's choice, you know, those words that you like to hear, that those Muppet boiler room secondary grade watch market dealers would do this to you. Logo, you know, understand me? This watch at one moment, ladies and gentlemen, it was over $500,000. 500,000 maracas. 500,000 trancas, $500,000, ladies and gentlemen. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment that people got an SBA loan and a PPP loan to buy one of those watches. You gotta be a Michiganer. You gotta be a Michiganer to buy that watch. But ladies and gentlemen, like I tell you, this is an unbelievable Richard Mille. This is like a Formula One in your wrist. You know, like a Formula One in your wrist. Unbelievable. But I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a wow. That's incredible. That brand, that's incredible. That's not the number, but he's incredible. And I'm going to tell you, for that watch, there was at one moment in that Corona era over $500,000, and people, you know, pressing the wire transfer in their Ferrari red gold fast car. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. I mean, you do whatever you want with your children's tuition money. You do whatever you want with your 401k, but don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more than $160,000. And nothing. Lo hago una vez más, ¿verdad? Sí, ¿verdad? Quiero say one more time. Nothing more. Nothing more. Like Martin dead. Richard Mille watches it dead in water like this. Help me. Help me. Dead. You do whatever you want with your children's tuition money. This is the only channel that's going to tell you the truth. This is the only channel. This is the only channel that's going to tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak annual calendar. Believable. Annual calendar. 41 millimeter. Reference number 26574. Unbelievable watch, ladies and gentlemen, with a beautiful blue dial. The watch might be dead, ladies and gentlemen. You don't understand how much this watch was in the Corona era. You know that Corona beer era? This thing was over $350,000. Unbelievable. What que these people son una cucaracha, son unos lambones, son unos gilipollas. Incredible. So much money you guys gave away. You wish you had it back today. Unbelievable. Yeah, that came out pretty good. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch has a retail price of $109,300. 109,300, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody know what price I'm going to tell you not to pay for that watch? This is a great watch, Papa. You know, don't get it mistaken. This is an unbelievable time machine. What I want to know is if anybody knows the price. The retail price is 109,300 plus your taxes. Nobody knows. That's perfect. Beautiful. So let's get into it already. Let's go fast. That's it, Papa. Papa. You know it. Flip a coin. Right, flip a coin. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that AP Royal Oak annual calendar 41 millimeter, reference number 26574, blue dial. Blue dial. Retail price 109,300. Don't pay more than $85,000 in dumping. Dumping. La situación está jodida, muchacho. La situación está jodida. You do whatever you want. You know, we're going to give a big shout out to one of your favorite people out there. We're going to help him out. You know, we're going to help this gentleman out because he's trying hard, becoming a backpacker, backpacker flipper. We're talking about no other than Eugene, the Las Vegas flashing vagrant Buffalo Park Ranger. You know, the Buffalo Park Ranger walker. You know, he's always roaming the streets in Las Vegas. You know, he's a very small man, very petite, with palmolive little hands. You see his fingers are real small like this. This sort of size of his fingers. Very small man. And ladies and gentlemen, he's selling an unbelievable Patek Philippe. The Gondolo, yellow gold, 3553. With a leather strap, with a sundust blue dial. Unbelievable. It's a ladies' watch, This is a ladies' watch. Get it through your head. Esto es un reloj de hembra. De hembra, que tengo una coneja. You know what a coneja is? If you don't know what a coneja is, you Google it. Coneja. Esto es una coneja, papá. This is a ladies' watch. No matter what Eugene tells you, no matter what Eugene, the Las Vegas flashing, vagrant, Buffalo Park Ranger walker tells you, that's a ladies' watch. That Patek Philippe Gondolo, yellow gold, 3553 with a leather strap, with a sundust blue dial. Don't pay more. I'm doing you a favor, Eugene. I'm helping you out. Eugene. Don't pay. And I mean, don't pay for that gondolo gonorrhea, that sardine can, don't pay. I mean, you do whatever you want, but don't pay more than $4,900 in dumping. La coneja, papá. Esto está jodido, papi. Esto está jodido. You do whatever you want. I already voiced him out. I gave him a good, help out with his watch or try to move it, You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is an unbelievable time machine. It is the Rolex Rose Gold Daytona Chocolate Dial 40 millimeter. It is the fully rose gold, bracelet and casing. The reference number of this watch is the 116505, 40 millimeter. It has a retail price of $41,600. That's right, Ed. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch at one moment was over $65,000-$70,000. We're talking about used. We're talking about used, slighted condition material watches in this channel. Don't get that confused. Used. All right? Don't get it confused. And I'm going to tell you, don't play, don't pay. Don't play and don't pay. Don't play and don't pay for that Rolex Rose Gold Daytona with a chocolate dial. Don't pay. The situation is bad, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not thinking into buying gold, you're gonna miss out. The bus is gonna pass right by you. I'm gonna tell you, don't pay for that Daytona chocolate dial or rose gold. Don't pay more than $41,000, and I'm gonna be kind. Hell no. Dumping! Right? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. You know that maybe 31 on the oyster flex, but not on that one, Papa. But you're pretty good. You're close. Eh, our next watch is a Rolex Rose Gold Date Olive Green Dial, reference number 228235, 40 millimeter. This watch at one moment in that special Corona era was all the way up to $95,000. $95,000. And I can tell you that with my two hands, I saw people paying $95,000. Thank you very much, Damon, for that super chat and for supporting the channel. Thank you very much. And I saw people with my two hands paying $95,000 for that watch. And I saw a lot of people paying it. So it's not like I'm trying to, no, a lot of people paying $95,000. And then it went down to 80, and then it went down to 70, then it went down to $55,000. It's pretty sad, ladies and gentlemen. All kidding aside, I make a lot of jokes, but there's a lot of people that got hurt out there with these watches. And I'm going to tell you a story in a few minutes when I get to that watch, which is very, very sad. Let's just finish with this Rolex Day-Date Rose Gold Olive Green Dial. And it was a $95,000. And no matter what you see out there, no matter what you see in the internet and prices, and watch market is dead. It's dead. It's totally dead. I've seen a lot of different times in my watch career. I saw it in 1999, 2000. I saw it in the 90s as well. I saw it in 2008, 2007, but I have not seen nothing like this, because this is just, it keeps on dropping. It keeps on dropping because it was like the fake real estate market that was here in 2000, and I don't know, 2005, 6, 7, 8. People were getting all these loans, without no verification. Well, it's the same thing with the watches. It's not the same. It's not the same real estate, but those prices were just crazy, crazy, crazy. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that Rolex Day-Date Olive Green Dial. Don't pay. You do whatever you want. The retail price is $46,300. You heard that right. The retail price is $46,300 plus your taxes. And I'm talking about used, slightly condition material watches in this channel. Don't get that confused. And I'm going to tell you, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Does anybody know what I'm going to say? Wow, that's very good. That's very good, Mr. Premium. Very good. Very close. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $42,500 and done. Right? You know what's going on. You do whatever you want. I mean, if you still want to keep on believing Billy and Joey and Tommy, that's up to you. That's up to you. I cannot tell you what you should do, but it is what it is. The watch market is dead. It is totally dead. There's no channel. There is no channel that is doing what I'm doing. If you can name me, please name me another channel that's doing what I'm doing, so I can go watch them. So I can watch them do what I do. So I can leave this behind. Just tell me if there is somebody else doing what I'm doing. Logo. Logo. Tell me. Okay. Nobody. That's right. No more, nobody. No more coin flips. That's right. Our next watch, listen to this one. This is an AP Royal Oak, stainless steel, 41 millimeter, double balance wheel, open work. Unbelievable watch. This watch has a retail price of $76,400. $76,400. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch went all the way up. All the way up. Stainless steel, papi. Not even gold. Stainless steel. All the way up to 300 beans. 300 maracas. 300 maracas. You know the maracas? You know, $300,000, ladies and gentlemen. And it started going down from 300 to 180, 150. You know, unbelievable. People that were, you know, just losing money like you won't believe it. If you buy this AP Royal Oak stainless steel double balance wheel open work, it's going to go all the way up to $1 million. People really believe that, you know, from these flim flammers, these hoodwinks. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you the truth. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want, but don't pay. Don't pay for that AP double balance wheel. Don't pay more than $114,000 and done. All right? I'm going to tell you a story now. And this is sad. In the Corona era, there were many different Panda watches. You know, the original Panda, as you know, it is the Rolex Daytona Panda. But then you had the Vacheron Constantine overseas Panda. You just had different, you know, watch brands with, you know, the name Panda, you know. And AP, Audemars Piguet, joined that game too of the Panda. And they had this beautiful AP Royal Oak stainless steel with a black dial. With a white dial and black gauges. And that became the Audemars Piguet Royal Oaks Panda. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a watch, you know, that the reference number of that watch is the 26331. And this watch has a retail price of $36,100. And it's a 41 millimeter. And people were going crazy with this watch. And there's some people that pay for this watch. Top number, $100,000, right? $100,000. So I have a friend that has a pawn shop, and a young kid, probably that he's today, I think he must be like around 31 years old. 31 years old. He came into some necessity of cash, you know, some cash flow, and he had that watch. And he shopped it around to all the Muppet Boiler Room secondary watch market dealers. And they were offering him, you know, 28, 29, 29, 30, you know. But yeah, I have to give you partial this, partial that, you know, the wishy-washy deal. And he went to a pawn shop because he needed the money there. He needed a stack of bills right there. And, you know, exactly. Exactly, David. So he went to the pawn shop and he needed the money for real. And don't ever forget, ladies and gentlemen, that cash is king. You know, if you have, I've been telling you forever, if you have cash, you're the king. So this pawn shop guy was the one that got the deal. If you guys would have the cash, you get the deal. And this gentleman, for what I understand from what my friend tells me, he's my golfing partner. He tells me that the young buck paid for the watch $85,000. Do you guys want to know how much he had to sell the watch for to get the cash quickly? Does anybody know how much he sold it for? Go ahead, tell me. Take notes. That's right. Take notes. Nobody knows? Okay. So remember that watch, he paid for $90,000. Unbelievable. No, Damon, you're way off. You're way off. He sold the watch to a pawn shop for $29,000, right? $29,000. That's not the price I'm going to tell you that you should pay for. I'm going to tell you the price you really should pay for it. I'm telling you how people are desperate out there. Desperate. You know, from $90,000 to $29,000. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that AP Royal Oak Panda, rep number 26331, you know, with a retail price, unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, of $36,100. Don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch. You ready, guys? Because you guys are lost. This gentleman here, Goldfish, is somewhere. He's getting somewhere. Don't pay for that watch more than $34,000. And all right, guys. So that's the story of what people are going through now. And my friend tells me, because he has sentimiento, he has empathy, I can talk a little bit, a little bit with, bigger words, but I want to stay in character. But my friend has empathy, and he says, there's people out there, they went nuts. They went nuts. What's losing? What's losing $60,000? Probably $60,000 is a shitload of money, man. Exactly. It's a shitload of money, and it's what it is. Or maybe it was a PPP loan, or maybe it was an SBA loan, but whatever it is, it's sad, man. You don't want to see people losing that amount of money. All right. Now check this out. This is another watch. It's an AP Royal Oak stainless steel 15550. Stainless steel 50th anniversary. It's a 37 millimeter watch, but it's a real authentic 50th anniversary. Unbelievable watch. Discontinue, collector's choice, collector's dream. All those big words you guys like to hear. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch has a retail price of $35,000. $35,000. And at one moment it was over $90,000. Over $90,000. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch. I made a mistake with the retail price of this watch. I made a mistake. Yes, $35,000. No, it is $35,000. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch. It is dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Don't pay for that watch more than $34,000. And done. You do whatever you want, right? But all these watches are just diving. Even those smaller millimeter sizing cases of watches, they're dropping. They're dropping big time. They're dropping like this. Here's another one that you're going to go, wow. This is a Rolex Yellow Gold Sky Dweller with a champagne dial. Rolex Yellow Gold with a champagne dial. One of the first reference to come out. Unbelievable. Reference number 326938. 42 millimeter. Retail price of this watch is $48,000. Does anybody have an idea what a Rolex Yellow Gold Sky Dweller will cost? That's right. It is that. It is. It's mierda. And we're talking about this AP has 240 grams. Wow. This gentleman by the name of Brand, he is onto something. He is onto something for real. He just finished telling me $32,000. I'm going to tell you the price. He said 32. But he's onto something big. He's onto something real big. And this is the original one, the first that came out. The first Sky Gold, Yellow Gold. It's the big kahuna. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that Sky Dweller with a champagne dial, 42 millimeter. Don't pay more than $31,000 and all right? You do whatever you want. I'm giving you subliminal messages. 240 grams of gold, minus the movement, and there you have your scrap gold. Okay? Let's take out of the movement, let's take out 8 grams of the movement. And you have left all that. You do whatever you want. Nobody's gonna talk to you the way I'm talking to you. Nobody. What they're gonna do to you is they're gonna keep dumbing down on you. Dumbing down, making you, ignorant, ignorant. Because they don't want smart people. These watch dealers don't want informed, customers. They don't want informed customers. They want customers that are dumbed down with money. They say these people that have money, they have so much money that they become stupid. And it is true. Sometimes in my life, I have felt that I have a little bit more money than I should have, and I've become a little crazy, and I've thrown money away like a monkey, like a cockroach. Me. And sweet cake Kino. And sweet cake Kino too, But it happens, the MK Ultra, you know, MK Ultra. And we throw money away, and some of these people throw money away, and the rich people are like that. And these dealers love uninformed customers. But you guys are being informed because you guys can keep on dropping all this knowledge to all your favorite Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channels and dealers, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you do whatever you want. It's your money. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to take a minute to tell you, this came in through the wire. I have a direct line that, from the UK to the United States. I mean, Sweet Cake Kino does. And you're not going to believe this. We're not going to name you the names yet. Even though we don't name names of people, we name, fictional characters, You understand? Like Harry Potter, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes. But these people are from the UK. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. But two more watch companies out of the UK. Listen and learn. Listen and learn. Two more watch companies from the UK, Mira, tap, shut the doors. Goodbye. That's it. No more. They're gone. I know what I'm telling you. You do whatever you want. I'm telling you, the repercussions. Esa la palabra, repercussion. Is repercussion a real word? Repercussion? Those are the repercussions. La recuperación, esta gente son inteligentes, ellos saben. Is it a repercussion? I'm trying to learn those words, It's it's like a tsunami. Tsunami? Like that. It's getting everybody. But you do whatever you want. Okay, guys? You do. That's right. Okay, Baba. All right, David. Our next watch is a Patek Philippe Nautilus 5980 rose gold with a 40.5 millimeter casing. This is an unbelievable watch. This is an unbelievable Patek Philippe Nautilus chrono. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. In this watch they were talking about getting discontinued was all the way up to $400,000. Qué locura aquí, 400,000 pesos. Man, I could imagine every time that I spend $45,000, $50,000, my legs shake. I tiemblo, I shake. I get scared. Unbelievable. And I'm talking about me. I spend 45. I think the most expensive I pay for a watch is, I don't know, $50,000. I think, yeah. And my legs shake. So I imagine people that spend $400,000. That has to be crazy. What a feeling. That should be a high, man. That should be like a heroin, like heroína. Heroin. ¿Cómo es la droga esa que te puya ahí? Te puya esto. La que yo te enseñé aquí, heroin. It's like manteca. Unbelievable. Those junkies. It must be like that kind of high, because $400,000 is a shitload of money. And people were paying that in the Corona era, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the retail price of that watch is $108,820. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Watch market day. It's going down, 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 down. I'm going down. Don't pay for that watch. And I mean, don't pay for that watch more than $147,000. And nothing. Do whatever you want. Kino, tú estás jodido, bro. Esta gente, tú estás jodido, Kino. Tú estás jodido. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I honestly thought, I don't know if me and Kino have something to do with it, that we stopped the bleeding, but that promotion and fever of promoting the Rolex Jubilee red and blue ceramic bezel Pepsi, that thing has slowed down completely, because they know that these new watches, they're going to be here next Monday, not this Monday coming, the following Monday. I think it's April Fool's Day. They're like, what do we do with all this now? Because when the new watches come in, the old ones just take a back seat now. And you know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants the new ones, the new ones, the new ones, the new ones, the new ones. So, están así. Okay? Just letting you guys know what's going on. Just letting you guys know what's going on. Situation is bad out there, guys. It's bad. Here's another watch that, again, that I never thought I would see the numbers of this watch, because this watch was something special when it first came out. It's the Patek Philippe Grand Complications 5270 Platinum Perpetual Calendar Chrono 41 millimeter. This watch has a retail price, unbelievable, man, of $219,760. But what makes this watch so special is that it has a salmon dial. It has a salmon dial. Salmon. And it was unbelievable. It's one of the, beautiful watch. But that watch has just been dropping by the second. And I just mean that, wow, I can't believe how much it has dropped. It was over retail, that watch. But people are just taking a loss. Mira, logo. Just in case you missed it. Logo. If you're on with me and you're listening to me, let me see a picture of the logo out there. Let me see a picture of a logo. It's unbelievable. It's what it is. These people, some of my subscribers are being dumbed down, and I'm not gonna let that happen. Exactly, logo. I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna let them dumb down you. You're not gonna get dumbed down with me. Not with me. I'm gonna tell you what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a beautiful watch, like I'm telling you, the salmon dial. Unbelievable. $219,760. I said a couple of months ago, don't pay for that watch 165, 160, 100, 100 and something. And today, ladies and gentlemen, it's sad, man. People are losing. Están perdiendo el fullingo. You know what fullingo is? Perdiendo el fullingo. Don't pay for that watch, and you do whatever you want. But don't pay. Exactly, Damon. Don't pay for that watch more than $139,000 and nothing. And we're talking about a full set with all the bells and whistles. If it doesn't have it, you don't want it. You will pay $139,000. You want it, everything, even the DNA. That's right. You understand me? You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want with your money. Like Kino does whatever he wants with his money, and he spends it. Es que tú gastas todo el dinero, Kino. Tú con las mujeres. Tú tienes problemas con las mujeres, Kino. Yo solo voy a decirle a ellos que tú tienes problemas con las mujeres. No me hagas así. Kino does this to me always. Exactly. You know it, Alex. You know it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want with your money, okay? Our next watch is unbelievable. This watch that I'm going to talk to you, I saw people as well. I want this watch, and I'm going to pay the $600,000 for this watch. $600,000. This is an off catalog. Do you guys know what off catalog is? This is an off catalog watch. This is a Rolex Platinum Daytona with a pave diamond, pave dial full of diamonds inside, unbelievable. Unbelievable, this watch, and it has the blue, the baby pamper blue gauges, and big diamond baguette bezel. This is unbelievable. This is a monster. This is what I call a bust down. This is what I call a factory bust down watch, This is a factory bust down watch from 47th Street. The guy over there in 47th Street, the one that has the Sinbad, the genie haircut, all the way to the back, and he's skin tight to the sides, and he has like a little ball back here, and he has Van Cleef bracelets, and they're unbelievable, those guys over there, Unbelievable. These people are Michiganers, you know. The guy in 47th Street. They're unbelievable. I don't know where they're from. They look to me like they're Latin. I don't know. I think they're from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, I think, you know. And ladies and gentlemen, these people were there have sold, they're the masters of selling bust down watches. But this watch that I'm talking about is a factory bust down watch. Beautiful watch. And there were dealers out there that wanted this watch. And I saw dealers paying for this watch $400,000 for this watch. This watch is unbelievable. This is the 116576. To shorten the reference number, we just call it the TBR. T as in Tom, B as in boy, run as in run. Run, Forrest, run. You know, the TBR. Unbelievable. Unbelievable looking time machine. And ladies and gentlemen, this watch was all the way up there, you know, $600,000. You know, in the Corona era. Logo. One more. Logo. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this. Does anybody have an idea what price I'm going to tell you not to pay for that Rolex Daytona Platinum? You know, factory diamond bezel, pave dial. Does anybody know? No, nobody knows. No saben. Aquí no, que no saben, no están preparados para esto, para ellos. Ellos saben de los negocios submarinos, y el Froggy Legs, el Starbucks, esa pendejada. Daytona. Oh, Brand, there you're flunking. You're flunking the class. Goldfish, okay. Dave is the closest right now so far. Dave is the close. No, Goldfish now at 200 is the closest one. That's it. No more. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, it's incredible, papi. El dinero que la gente perdieron, the money they lost is incredible, you know? It's incredible. It's, you know, it's like when I bought this watch, you know, I thought I hit the jackpot, you know, and today I'm a cockroach, you know? It's unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that Rolex Daytona Platinum, the TBR. Don't pay for it more. You ready? Don't pay more than $179,000 in dumping. Kino, aguántame. Dumping. Logo. ¿Cómo que qué es esto, Kino? Esto es logo. Kino is asking me, what does that mean? Unbelievable. It's a beautiful watch. You see that? Somebody knows it. But okay, since you know it's a beautiful watch, does it cost $300,000? You know it, Goldfish. So there it is, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I have another watch here that, you know, that guy, you know, James Bond, you know, unbelievable, that James Bond, always with beautiful woman, beautiful Aston Martin, you know, caviar, champagne, and beautiful black monkey suits, always. He's unbelievable, that James Bond. No matter if it was Sean Connery or if it was, what's the other guy's name? You know, I like the other guy. What was his name? No, I think Sean Connery was one. I think he was the best, to be honest. Okay, let's stay with Sean Connery. And he was the one that wear the Submariner, you know, the beautiful Rolex Submariner. He was unbelievable, that Sean Connery. But anyway, this new one came out. This new actor came out and he started promoting this new Omega watch. And it's called the 007. Unbelievable, 007. And it has a big attaché. You know what an attaché is? If you don't know what an attaché is, you Google it, right? If you don't know it, you Google it. Attaché. Y papi, maletín es attaché. El camina por el aeropuerto, por the airport, you know? And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it brings a big attaché and the watch is there. Beautiful. And it's the Omega Seamaster Diver, 300 meters, 42 millimeter. It has a reference number longer than Amtrak station, you know? 210-9042-2001-001. Unbelievable. Titanium on titanium. Beautiful bracelet. It's unbelievable. Retail price is $10,000, and people were going crazy for that Omega 007. You know, they were going crazy. Unbelievable. Retail price $10,000 even, ladies and gentlemen. And do yourself a favor and get away from that James Bond 007. Don't pay more. You do whatever you want, but don't pay more than $6,600. And ¡bam! Y Kiro, 007 se jodió. ¿Te recuerdas que se quitaba la gorra? And cut. Ah! You remember that guy? You know the Chinese guy that threw the hat and cut his hat off in 007? Remember that guy? Man, I wanted to be James Bond in that part, you know? It's unbelievable, that James Bond. Unbelievable. Let's finish this off. We have two more watches and we're done. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is it's an unbelievable. No, we only have one more watch, ladies and gentlemen. One more watch. You don't get excited. It is the Vacheron Constantine Overseas Stainless Steel 4500 brown dial. Brown, you know? It comes stainless steel completely with the casing and the bracelet, but it also has a rubber brown strap, you know, with the brown dial. Unbelievable. The 4500B brown dial. Retail price is $25,000. $25,000. And ladies and gentlemen, you do as you please with your money. La situación está jodida. No hay dinero por la calle. There's no money. You know, there's no chavos. No hay pasta. No hay lana. No hay cuartos. There's no money. You know, no money. No hay plata. ¿Me entiende? No hay. La situación está jodida. People are making line to get my logo. To get my logo. I know what I'm telling you. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for this Vacheron Constantine Overseas Stainless Steel 4500V brown dial. They call it rare brown dial. Mierda. Bunch of cockroaches out there, ladies and gentlemen. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that rare brown dial. And it's dropping. It's dropping already. See, this watch here, so you understand, this 4500V stainless steel Vacheron Constantine with a brown dial, they were holding it back. You know, they had it as a safe queen. You know what a safe queen is? Ellos no saben lo que es eso, you know. You know what a safe queen is? Well, let me explain to you. When they find a watch that they believe, these Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market dealers, that they think is going to be something special and rare, they put it away in a safe and they lock it up in there, you know, because this is going to be the watch that's going to send Joey to the University of Yale, you know, or NYU, Columbia, whatever it is, you know. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you just cannot continue, you know, giving people money like that for free. You know, if you're gonna give it away to UNICEF, give it away to the animal shelters, you know, give it away to the needy people. There's people out there que están jodidos, papi, están jodidos. There's people there that they're frogged up, you know, they're frogged up mentally, you know, they're not well. Give it away to them. But I'm trying to tell you that these people, when they put that watch as a safe queen away, they're waiting for it to, you know, so they can pay Joey's University. But now they're taking it out because the watch market is dead. It's brown, it's rare. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, Yale University, Columbia. Hey guys, I'm going to tell you a secret. I got two adult children. They went to some of those schools. Unbelievable, but true. Unbelievable. I mean, you don't have to believe me, but it's the truth. Don't pay for that Vacheron Constantine Overseas Stainless Steel 4500V, brown dial, 41 millimeter. Don't pay more, and I mean don't pay more than $22,500. And done! The watch market is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Get it through your head. And if you are going to invest in something, look into buying gold. Okay? I'm not telling you to buy it. Look into buying gold. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoy my watch market update. You learned something. You learned that many of these Muppet Boiler Room secondary grade watch market dealers are using my catchphrases, my stories. Pretty soon they're gonna make a story of my father. The stories that my father told me about the air conditioner in Long Island. They're gonna say that story too because they want to be like me. You gotta have this personality. I'm only joking. I'm only playing, guys. I'm only playing. Anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video. I should have said this in the beginning. Kino was already winking at me. Why didn't you say, subscribe to our channel? La, la, la. I never do it, but I always do it at the end. But guys, we also have a watch private group in Facebook under my name, Juan Felipe Nieves. Scroll down to Opus and Time Watches, request it, and maybe you get in there. Okay, guys? Anyway, guys, have a fantastic Friday. Okay? And guys, take care and brush your hair. Peace.